Right. So what are our options? What is it? I think it's Gooper Blooper Strikes Back, or is it Red Coins on the Water next? Either way, I don't particularly want to do either of those. Dirty Lake in Bianca, which is alright. Sandbird. Fuck it. You know what? Let's do the Sandbird. Let's rip the fucking bandage off. Let's go and do the Sandbird is Born. Why do I hate myself? Why do I do this to myself? Hey, let's go and record in sunshine. That'll be fun, he said. Ugh. Sandbird it is. And spoing, and in we go. Well, I guess I made it either way. At least, it's weird. Part of my brain always forgets that you actually have F.L.U.D for the Sandbird, which makes it... I was going to say more doable, but I would say actually that makes it doable. Because this, without F.L.U.D, just that tiny ability to self-correct, this would be, quite frankly, horrific. It's still not great, but actually, this is not the worst level for me. What is the worst level, though, I suppose? Pachinko's pretty bad. A lot of the secrets are bad. Because here, we're done. All I have to do is now just stand around on this. I'm actually gonna give it some thought. Put the speeder on and flap around this level, Doctor, while you think about what the worst level is. I'd certainly say Pachinko is bad. The Toxic Water Lily Pads one is pretty bad, just because getting out there with Yoshi is a nightmare, and if you start losing lives on that, you have a really fucking rough time really fast. And that's the thing, it's like, actually, one of the things that makes levels hard in this is the reset time, rather than actually difficulty of the level intrinsically. Is there any chance of me getting up to there yet? Nope. I'm trying to think, what levels have I not done yet, really? Watermelon Festival can be a shit, but obviously I'm not doing it this playthrough anyway. What are the Bianca ones? The Bianca ones are all fairly straightforward after this. Oh, there we go. I feel it actually only goes sideways the once anyway. Sandbird's actually much easier than I always remember it being, quite frankly. That is unfair. But the insane Ferris wheel, whatever it's called, can be buggeredly if you do it the proper way, but I almost always just do it the glitchy, shitey way, so it doesn't actually flag as that difficult for me. Scrubbing Serena Beach can be a bugger, but it can also not be. So, there you go. Right, I should go, I guess, over to Pinna, because I want to unlock Serena sooner. I think the next level, yeah, because it's Pinna 4, isn't it, is the Wilted Sunflowers, the Oh I'd Love a Dick. If you don't know what I mean by that, you're about to find out. It's a terrible bit of it's not lip reading, but voice hearing on not just my part, I'd like to throw it out. There are many people who've also heard it that way. But yeah, let's go over and do Pinna 4. Ah, Christ. Oh, so just as I'm recording this, the final episode of Pikmin has... Well, it's been live for a bit of time, but just people are starting to watch it, and right, this could sound fucking soft, I don't even care. It really warms my heart to see people's comments on that, because the comments are just kind of coming in of the regulars, clocking in and talking about the series and stuff, and it's just it's so nice to me to see that, and it's like it's the single thing that makes me actually not care that we've never, for want of a better phrase, made it. Like, we've always steadily increased views and subscribers and stuff like that, but there's no single, like, there's no point at which the gentlemen have ever got massive. And I'm not salty about that, because this has never been a thing. Like, this was never going to be a career for me. It was always just something I did in my spare time. And I've always put some effort into it, but never a huge amount. I mean, obviously, I've put effort into the recording stuff like that, but, like, I could possibly put more effort in of, like, doing, like, a Patreon and engaging more with people that way and that kind of thing. And maybe I don't do that as well as I could have done, but I've always liked the fact that we have this the phrase "loyal following" sounds really strange, like with some kind of cult, and that's not what I'm after at all. But like, I know the regulars at this point, and it's like whenever an episode goes up in a lot of cases, but especially whenever like a finale goes up, and I start seeing comments coming in for like the regulars, and they're always so nice and just so affirming of my like decision to do this. When like there are definitely times where I'm like I put in all this effort and no one notices, but I'm always constantly reminded that yeah, people notice. It may not be a huge number of people, but it's enough people to make it worthwhile, because there are people who are like if literally there's only a handful of people who are like, I really like this, it helps me sleep, it relaxes me when I'm stressed or like that. It's like, even if I only get a handful of those, that is still absolutely worth it. I am really thankful for that, and obviously you watching this will know who the regulars are if you're amongst them. And once again, I would always just like to say thank you so much. You are basically the reason I keep doing this, because if I was getting a few, like 30-40 views per video and no interaction either, I'm sure part of me would have considered moving on now. But it's entertaining to me. I enjoy doing it, and knowing that there are at least just a handful of people who enjoy watching as well, it does, to really dial in the cliche, it does make it all worthwhile. Anyway, we've nearly wrapped up here, and you've actually missed the 4 lines from the sunflowers where they go, "Oh, I'd love a dick," when they come back to life. But with that final one, the mama sunflower is... Oh, one day I'll remember to not do that. I was going to say, the mama sunflower is revived. And she doesn't say that line. I don't even know what it's supposed to be saying. It just sounds like they go, "Oh, that mama dick." But it definitely always sounds like, "Oh, I'd love a dick." So, maybe I'm just a terrible person. Why can you open the map between getting a shine sprite and getting the shine sprite? That's insane. Anyway, we've got some business to do back in Delfino Plaza then, and I suppose I'm going to end this recording session with a fucking Phantomanta, aren't I? Ugh. Turns out I hate myself. Who knew? Well, me, when I decided to replay Sunshine for fun. Because who does that? Right, let's chase this bastard down anyway. Alright, there it is. I'm never quite sure what's the best way of taking him on. I guess it's continuous. Ooh, that's some frame drops. Spraying like this rather than blast spraying, but... I'm curious to see, by the way, how have people felt about the visual thing I've been doing? Because the wise among the viewers will know that Mario Sunshine is not 64 frames... 64, good one. 60 frames a second, but I am attempting to interpolate it to that using Adobe's optical flow algorithm that's got surprisingly good, especially with its GPU support, over the last year or so. So I was like, you know what, I'll try running optical flow on this and actually see how it looks. So how have people felt? Because often interpolating up to 60, people have really mixed opinions about it. Some people are like, "Oh, it looks so good, it looks so smooth," but other people are like, "You've made it look like a home video from the 90s. So I really actually, I'm curious to get audience opinions on it. Had you noticed it? I mean, obviously by this point we're probably about 4 or 5, maybe 6 episodes. No, I've been recording for 2 hours and I plan to have cut, so we'll be at most 5 episodes. You want a nana, eh? Excellent. I'll probably be about 5 episodes into the series, so perhaps there will have been comments, and perhaps I will have already responded to those comments, and we've had a discussion about it. But either way, if you hadn't noticed or commented yet, I am curious in this episode to see what people think of the interpolation and how smooth it's been. So I will have not necessarily run it 100%, as in when it's... because it can be bad when stuff appears rapidly on the screen, and I plan to cut away from the 60 FPS footage at that point, but how do people find it? Do let me know. Either way, time for Serena Beach, there we go, and everyone's favourite boss fights. Episode 1, The Manta Storm. Don't get me wrong, this is really cool, and apparently based on a section in a Stephen King book. I think it might actually be The Shining, where someone either sees or has a vision of looking over and seeing like a ghostly shape moving over the land, drenching it in bullshit after it goes. I can't remember, nor am I a huge Stephen King fan, to be honest, so it hasn't exactly stuck. But hey, let's talk to this guy. Prepare my jolliest voice. "Oh, please tell me my nightmare is over. You can save me. I don't know why, but you just look very capable to me. Listen, it all started around noon. This giant manta-shaped, holy shit, my throat. Oh my goodness. Oh, I needed that. Oh, I'm falling apart. Bloody hell. This giant manta-shaped thing showed up. It was paper thin, this floating silhouette. It came and covered the hotel grounds in this electric goop. Then, oh, the horror. My beautiful hotel, my poor building. It sank into the middle of that awful ooze. Why me? Why? Now I've got the staff cleaning up, but where's my hotel? But what am I supposed to do? I can't just sit back and... Ah, it's back! That gossamer ghoul! Do something! Gossamer ghoul, incidentally, is a fantastic description. And this is just a quite... It can be mildly irritating, but it is quite a cool boss fight. The idea that like you hit it and it splits apart, and all the pieces like or it doesn't split apart apparently. Come on, there we go. There we go. It splits apart and all the bits spray, like drop goop behind them. It is quite a cool concept. I was amazed when I started watching speedruns of this, like how much you can game this based on which ones you destroy and when. Like you can. It's not as RNG as it seems, basically. And I've kind of done here what always amuses me of this as well, where you look in one direction, you're like, there's a load of tiny ones, and then you turn around a little bit, and bloody hell, I'm actually having this living shit kicked out of me here. Holy ass bandits! Oh no! Right, I need to get under one of these cabanas and heal a little bit. There we go. Also, I think you are safe under here. I think it actually literally physically cannot get you. Actually, literally physically. That was too many adjectives, wasn't it? Come on. I knew it was. And yet I said it nonetheless. Right, they should be going apeshit pretty soon. Fortunately, this is where that blasting technique comes in handy. So there, what you have to do to do that, in case anyone's not familiar, is basically if you jump and then you press A and, apparently in this game, A and R at the same time. Wait, what is it? Oh, yeah. R and ZR. I always forget which one's which. It's like, I still think of them as like RB and RT. Like, weirdly, I am at my core very much a Nintendo person, but I still refer to them in Xbox controller nomenclature because the original GameCube didn't have that. You had LR and then you had Z, and I always forget which one. I suppose I just need to think about which one's Z, and in the GameCube controller, the real controller. Oh, Doctor, be careful, your true feelings are showing. But yeah, I guess if you remember that Z was the one that was above the triggers, yeah, it makes sense that ZL and ZR are the ones that are above L and R. Right, how are we doing here? I'm mostly up by the hotel, so let's go over there and clean up shop a little bit. Yeah, that blast can clear a hell of a lot of distance, actually. Holy crap, I always forget just like... Obviously, it doesn't matter here about cleaning goop, but I remember how much it can clear. It does, it makes scrubbing Serena Beach much more handleable. Not a word, but you know what I'm going for. Really, they must be getting mad soon. Come on, guys. Oh shit, we're out. Oh, was not planning on falling into the lecky because I figured I'd clean it before I got there. That is the thing though, like if you just look at my water meter now, like this blasting technique does absolutely drain your water. But worthwhile at least. Yeah, you can do this as well and actually get like that can cover an incredible region if you spin jump and blast as well. It is obviously semi-random how well you can blast in that, but there we go. Now they're all after you, and I'm out again. Bloody hell! Right, let's do this. I'm literally just jumping, spinning, and blasting here. Oh no, I hit the bloody thing. But yeah, this was actually I learned this from watching a TAS of this game, tool-assisted speedrun, for those who don't know. So when it's like you've got a machine that's programmed to play it on an emulator, and they basically just do stuff that's physically impossible. That's basically to do with if a human had perfect reflexes, how well could they play this game? That your only limitation is actually, there we go, is you don't have the issue of like how fast can you realistically do button inputs, so you can make frame perfect tricks every single time, basically. And I saw that trick of doing the blasting while spin jumping, and it is a similar thing there. It covers the most area as quickly as possible, because actually targeting individual little mantas is surprisingly difficult, but you can just fucking sweep the area surprisingly well. Oh, it's spawning me back here. That's slightly bizarre. But either way, there we go. Let's grab that shine.